the leading cause of death in a pregnant woman is actually homicide. Be careful out there. Welcome to It's a Crime. I'm Linda, and today we're going to be diving a little bit deeper into the Heidi Broussard case. I'm going to give you more details on the house that Maygen lives in, her car, and the drive from Austin to Houston. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you can be notified of my next upcoming videos. Now let's talk about the drive. In Austin, at Heidi's apartment, which is called Club at Summer Valley Apartments, to Bojack Drive, which is where Maygen lives in Houston, is approximately 2 hours and 40 minutes. So it's about 2 hours and 39 minutes one way and 2 hours and 37 minutes the other way. We know Shane Carey, which is Heidi's fiance, talked to her at around 8 a.m. on December 12th. And on that conversation, she talked about that she just bought 3 books from this book fair at Silas's school. So she heads home, and apparently Maygen called her at around 8:30 that morning. Now, it's a 10-minute drive from Silas's school, which is at Cowan Elementary, to their apartment. So if she was talked to Shane about 8 and she was just leaving, a couple minutes to get to the car and then drive home. So she's in and around, anywhere from 8 to 8:30 going home. So we know that Heidi's belongings were in the apartment except for her phone and her keys. And also that the door was left open. And I wonder if Maygen was visiting first at her apartment and then she went outside. There is video surveillance of Heidi, quote unquote, willingly getting into a car on December 12th. Now, I'd love to know what's on that video, and hopefully they will release it maybe after the records have been sealed or all these evidence has been sealed till the 17th of January. So I'd love to know what's on it. Does willingly mean that she put Margot in a car seat and then got in the front and strapped herself in? Or willingly go for a quick drive? Or does willingly mean she brought the baby and went into the car just for a couple minutes to chat with Maygen because she is from out of town? Maybe Maygen had to go. So there's a whole bunch of scenarios. I'm looking forward to the actual video surveillance to see what the heck actually did transpire. I mean, I doubt she knew that she was taking a drive all the way to Houston. She would have brought her purse for sure and a diaper bag, right? I mean, babies poop and pee all the time. Now, the police were led to Maygen's house because they had interest in her car. So keep that in mind as I go along on this story. Maygen drives a 4-door Nissan car, and that's confirmed it is registered to her. Now, she also was recently charged with a bunch of violations. There were 6 violations. You can see it in this video in here where I mention all these violations and what she was charged with. Now, it takes 2 hours and 40 minutes, like I mentioned, to get to Bojack Drive from Heidi's apartment. That would put them at the earliest at around 11 a.m. on December 12th. Seeing as how it takes 2.5 hours, about 8:30 she called. That is if Maygen wasn't there hanging out first. And I wonder what kind of conversation there would have been. I mean, Heidi would see that they're leaving town and she wasn't at all prepared, right? So willingly piece to me is more of a popping down, say hi kind of thing, not willingly, we're heading to Houston. She would have brought her purse and diaper bag at the least, and not to mention she's 2 weeks postpartum at the time, so really strange. Now, let's get to the house. The house is located on Bojack Drive, like I mentioned. Maygen's been living there for 2 years and apparently not paying rent. So one of her neighbors was interviewed and said that, she was seemed standoffish in general, and Christopher Green, who owns the house and apparently is her boyfriend, was quite friendly. Now, side note, I've been looking back to see the registries that Maygen did all these shenanigans and said, Maygen Humphrey and Christopher Green baby registry. It's taken down off Amazon and the bump. Now, that's strange to me because wouldn't that be evidence? So who took it down? And curious to see how that plays out. Bunch of YouTubers have recorded this, so that's the great thing because they have screenshots and they have video of it. So anyways, moving on. The house isn't just registered to Christopher Green. I found out that the house is actually registered to two people, Christopher Green and a Katie Gibbs. That was on a 2019 property tax statement that I saw, and it was valid as of yesterday, January 1st, 2020. Chris and Katie bought this house back in 2015, and I found pictures of what the house looked like inside at that, I believe it was at that time, and so I'm going to be putting these pictures as I'm speaking so you'll see them. Now obviously the red door is different than the outside of what the old pictures were like, but just to give you an idea of inside the house and outside the house. Now baby Margot was found in an infant swing in the house, and Maygen had insisted that the baby was hers. Obviously we know different now. And apparently CPS was called, and that's how they went to check on the baby and was taken away. So Heidi was found hours later in the trunk of Maygen's car, and her cause of death was ligature strangulation. Now what was interesting is where the car is located, which obviously makes sense when you see that there was a body in the car, in the trunk, but the car was in the backyard next to the door of the house. And the garage is actually to the left of the house, and there is a gate going into the backyard, so I guess it's big enough for a car to go through. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure that the yard was gated otherwise everywhere else. If Maygen didn't know that Heidi was in the trunk of the car, then why is she putting the car in the backyard? Can't wait for this to play out. And I also wonder what the actual date of death was for Heidi. I know that her obituary says December 19th, which is the same day they found her, but I'm curious to find out what day she actually died on. Was she actually in the house and then Maygen put her body in the car? Was she already dead when she was in the trunk of the car? I mean, how did she get Heidi in the trunk of a car? It wouldn't be easy to put dead weight into that car by herself unless she had help, unless Heidi was alive when she was in the trunk of the car. So I'd be curious to find out what make or what model that actual car is, because I was peeking on Nissan and it kind of looks like that it would be a Sentra. I'm not sure though, so I would like to know what the model of the car is and what year it is, and we can see, you know, kind of the specs of the car. But we do know for sure it was a gray Nissan. Now, Maygen hasn't been charged with murder yet officially. She's charged with 2 counts of kidnapping and tampering with a corpse. Her court date was set for January 2nd or 3rd, and now it is rescheduled for February 3rd at the request of her attorneys. So if you do have more information, please comment below anything on what's going on right now. There has been mention of some sort of black SUV. I have not been able to find that information at all. So if you do have information, please stick it in the comments below. But other than that, I'm also going to do a video on Christopher Green. So if you have information on him, please stick that in the comments below. And let me know what other cases that you would like me to cover. Give a like to this video if you liked it. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already, because I'm coming out with a lot of videos, and hit that notification bell so you can be notified of my next upcoming videos. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon.